Welcome to Uncensored Minds, the world's greatest conversation. As we like to always start off each show, I want to let the people know this is not Good Morning America. This is not the Pacify Cast. This is not the Coddle Cast. We might say a couple things. So if you got sensitive ears, please exit stage left and we're going to get into it. We're going to have some real honest conversations and we're going to speak however we want to speak. This is our safe space, and you are allowed to agree, disagree, or agree to disagree, however that plays out. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Uncensored Minds. Welcome to Uncensored Minds, episode 173, the world's greatest conversation. I'm not going through the tagline. Y'all should know it by now. I'll just say the thoughts, opinions, and views of this cast is our own opinions. You can agree, disagree, whatever. We gonna say some shit. And that's what it is, man. Who am I here with tonight?
It's Big Killer Ish. That's the new name I have adopted, y'all. What's up? What's up?
I'm back. It's Nell. Let's get it.
Now it's bronze now.
That's what I was getting ready to say. You all tanned and shit.
Y'all ladies let us know in the chat if y'all feeling Nell's new bronze look.
I'm jealous.
A little bit.
All right, people, before we get into some tragic news that has happened here in our city, I'm going to go through some things in this icebreaker that you should apply to yourself as an adult, just to make sure that you are doing self-care and or just taking time to clear your head and things of that nature. So this came from one of my Facebook friends, but it says number one on the list is, and each has a problem with this. It says asking for help. So make sure, either one of y'all, and myself included, and all the people in the congregation, it's okay to ask for help. Ask for help. That's number one. All right. Number two is taking at least one day off a month. No.
I got Sunday.
Ish, what's up?
Yeah, I get 2 days off, Saturday and Sunday. So, other than that, no days off.
Facts. I feel like I have no days off, but I make a day off. Like, I'll force myself to not do nothing one of them days. Mm-hmm. All right. What is number three? Number three says making business moves that don't interfere with your daily self-care. Are both of y'all doing that? Making business moves that don't interfere with your daily self-care. We got work to do, people. We got work to do. All right. This other one is one that I don't do. It says put your phone on D&D sometimes.
I do that.
No.
My phone is always on silent. I don't put it on Do Not Disturb, but my phone is always on silent.
Yeah, I tend to not put my phone on silent. I just ignore it. So I'll just ignore that motherfucker. All right. Now it says to make sure you are mindful to go places where you are celebrated and not tolerated.
That's a good one.
Are we doing that, people? What's up?
That is a good one.
I ain't doing that because I know it's a plenty of motherfuckers who just tolerate me. Trust. I ain't doing that. I need to, though.
Yeah, we got work to do, people. We got work to do. All right, the next one is, potty mouth Ish. And angry Nell. Potty mouth Ish and angry Nell. And harsh ass T. And harsh ass T. This is the next one. Being selective with your words. we all is fighting an uphill battle on this one.
Very much so.
Very much.
Yeah, we all are fighting a battle on this one. All right, the next one says saying no to something that doesn't serve you. Are we practicing this?
Nope.
No?
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes for me as well. Sometimes for me. I think I'm going to start saying no more, though. What do you think, though? You going to stay in the sometimes area?
Work on it.
Okay.
Work on it.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to work on it because I'm not even at the sometimes phase. So, I definitely got a lot of work to do.
All right, the next one says learning from and listening to people. Are we doing this?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I'm doing that as well. And y'all people in the comments, I tell you all the time, listen. Stop hearing, listen. All right, the next one says not setting expectations and moving accordingly. Ooh.
Not setting expectations and moving accordingly. Yeah, I can say sometimes.
No.
Sometimes.
I think I removed all my expectations because I think people's full of shit. Y'all the benefit of the doubters couch over there. All right. Now it says setting your own standards of the things you feel like you should be requiring.
Yes.
Sometimes.
Yeah, I think sometimes. I think that's something I
That's
want to
a
do more.
big sometime for us all, right?
Facts. Facts. All right, well, that was the list, and these are all things that's supposed to make you better and that you are supposed to require or your people are supposed to provide for you. So that is the list. Shout out to Taya.
That was a good list.
Good old list, man. So we always like a nice little list, man. All right, so for the people who are in the Philadelphia area, y'all might know of this story. And for the people who are out of the Philadelphia area, this is going to be a trigger warning because I am going to play some of the video. So if you know.
His music was a plea to stop the violence. Last night, he became the latest homicide victim in Philadelphia.
28-year-old Derek Gant, also known by his rap name Fat G's, was gunned down on a Brewerytown street on the same block where he lived with his family.
Monday night, the big story on Action News is the investigation into the violent death of a young man who used his lyrics to spread a message of peace.
That victim was shot multiple times right in front of his home. Police scooped him and rushed him to Penn Presbyterian Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. And today, homicide detectives are still working to figure out who is responsible.
Killers all in my city, can't get enough of it.
Popular radio host Mina Say What Lona first interviewed him 10 years ago.
Yo, bro, we going back to the studio.
It's just really heartbreaking that this young man was literally advocating against the census violence that ultimately he was the victim of.
It was just last fall when he dropped this song, No Gun Zone, about curbing gun violence.
Why they do my son wrong?
His friends and family know him as 28-year-old Derek Gant.
He was a good dude, you know. All yesterday, we all together yesterday praying at the masjid all day. He doing his good deeds, trying to feed the homeless.
10 p.m. Sunday, right in front of his Brewerytown home in the 1200 block of North Taney Street, Gant was shot to death. At least a dozen shots were fired. His mother was inside. Today out front, his friends and family surrounded his imam.
That's what, one of the last things that, he died doing, trying to repair the damage that sadly the culture's caused.
Investigators have video of Gant speaking to someone in the passenger side of a vehicle on the street before the shots rang out. That vehicle then fled. At this hour, police have no arrests.
Too many people are dying. Time for excuses are over.
There was a shooting, so if this is a trigger for you, you can take off for like the next 2 minutes and then come back because I'm going to play the video. But there was an incident where a young up-and-comer, I'm going to say, rapper was shot and killed in front of his home. And it was a very traumatic or touching story to me as a person who was shot himself. I could feel, everything that happened in this video.
Yeah.
But the rapper's name was Fat G's. His real name was like Derek or Darren Grant or something like that. But he was 28 and he was shot and killed here in Philadelphia. There's a lot to, diagnose, and we're going to break through every point and aspect in this story. Do y'all want to begin first, or do y'all want me to give some background first?
You can give a little background first.
Okay. So the background in this story is a troubled youth who, was outside doing his own, mischiefs here and there, selling drugs, being a part of certain sets and things of that nature. And in the first incident, his best friend was on house arrest, and they shot up his house, and he died.
An 18-year-old man was shot and killed while sitting inside his house. It happened on the 6700 block of North 15th Street in the West Oak Lane section at 11:45 last night. Police say the gunman fired 13 shots through the windows and the front door. The victim ran to a neighbor's house and then collapsed. Police rushed him to the hospital where the young man died. Police say that victim was under house arrest.
Rest in peace, Shawty, and rest in peace, bro. These niggas, they don't for my pain. These niggas, they don't for my pain. Feel like they shot me when they killed Saudi. Lying Hardy, he ain't feel nobody. Guess they was saying how he moving proudly. They took my younger life, he couldn't live it, so you know I got it. And I feel like that was my little brother, bro. We went to the same school. Nobody don't know this shit. This is before Fat G's, you feel me? Me and Saudi was the same fucking kid, bro. This nigga birthday the same day as my birthday, bro. I got him by like 3 years, but we was behavior childs, you feel me, bro? We got kicked out of the school district of Philadelphia, bro. We went to a school in Wordsworth out Fort Washington, bro. We used to get on the school bus every fucking day. I feel like when Saudi died, music died in my city.
I remember the video I did for Saudi. All y'all was together.
And you see how that video, like, niggas done died and departed. Like, if you watch that video, so many niggas in that video is beefing with each other now, or dead, like, literally.
So he saw his best friend house get shot up, and his best friend dies. Now, the second incident is he chose to start making music to, what do they call that word? Support or dedicate,
Honor.
Honor his friend who was shot and killed. So he's on the road making music. He did a song with Lil Uzi. He's an up-and-coming rapper at this point. His house gets shot up. Now, when his house gets shot up, his little brother actually got shot.
My little brother got shot, bro. I was like, nigga, I was on tour with Uzi. I just dropped back to the basics, nigga. I was shaking, bro. Like, I was confident with money, like, on music. But I dropped an album, bro, and 2 days later, niggas shoot my house up. It hit my little brother, bro. You feel me? My little brother almost died, bro. Like, if that little nigga wasn't, like, calm, bro, and telling me what to do, bro, he could have died, bro. Like, my little brother was telling me, like, bro, that little nigga was...
Dang.
That shit corny, bro. Cause he still got the bullet in his arm. He in school for free playing basketball. Like, you feel me, bro? Like, he in school for $3.99 right now, bro. And it's like he could have been way higher than that, but he got judged, bro. My little brother can be Division I, bro. That nigga can be in the NBA right now, bro. Everybody that's on this AAU team is in the fucking NBA, bro. But my little brother got a bullet in his arm, and I feel like I'm gonna take that. You feel me, bro? And that shit fucked everything up. Got a bullet in his arm. Who's this kid, Jaheim Bethea, that's killing? Oh, he got a bullet in his arm. He's from North Philly. Oh, we not really pass on. Oh, Rashid Jordan, he's from Philly too. Yeah, you know how this shit goes. Political, bro. It's nutty.
Absolutely political.
and he could have died, but luckily he's still alive, but he still has the bullet in him. And the rapper who was just recently killed, he feels like they were coming to shoot him. He feels responsible for his little brother getting shot and almost dying. Now, in the last tragic event where he was shot and killed, there was somebody who was sitting in a car outside in front of his house.
Fat G's was shot and killed by two men who were staked out in a vehicle outside of his home, pretending to be fans of his.
No, bro. You not trying to pull up? What's wrong with you? I'm about to blame you, bro. Hey, yo, Roulette. Let's shoot that. Hey, yo, Roulette. Let's shoot that. Hey, yo, Fat.
The two men are outside calling his name, yo, Fat, yo, Fat. We're fans, bro. We're listening to your music. Now, Fat don't know what to think. He's kind of suspicious, right? He's telling people in the house, yo, I'm going to do it to him, but I'm going to give him a chance to pull off. Because he's suspicious. He thinks they're up to no good, but their words are saying something else. So he comes outside to investigate and let them know, bro, like, I'm not feeling this. Y'all need to leave.
The door, bro. I don't know who it is. He's not rolling his window. I'm about to bang on him. I'm about to shoot at this wheel in front of the door. He's not pulling his car down. He's not trying to tell me who it is. I'm about to flame his car up. No, this nigga not rolling his pop. As you understand what I'm saying? He on the phone. I just knocked on his window. I told him to roll the window down. He didn't say nothing, bro. Pop, he's double parked in front of the fucking house. What's wrong with you? And I knocked on his door and I asked him, who you looking for? The nigga talking about, go ahead. He just told me to go ahead. Bro, I'm trying to tell you, bro. Trying to tell you, bro. Yo. I don't know who this is in front of my door. I'm about to flame this nigga, bro. Like, I'm about to flame this car right now. I don't know what's up with cuz. Bro, I'm asking you who you is. You're in front of my door, bro. It's shit going on out here, bro. I'm asking you a simple question, bro. I'm asking you, I don't know who you is, bro. What's up with you? Bro, this is my block. You just sitting there. I asked you a simple question, bro. You're not saying nothing, bro. You didn't say nothing, bro. This is my block. Shit going on around here, bro. That's why I asked you a question. No, it's not all white people that live on this block, bro. All right, go ahead, bro. Go ahead, bro.
What are you arguing with somebody for, yo? What is wrong with you?
The fuck?
This nigga, man. I don't know what the fuck. That's why I be thinking somebody be slipping him something or something sometimes. He don't make no sense.
So when you go through these kind of traumatic experiences, it like gives you a little bit of paranoia, or it just sends your emotions in different ways. So when he saw somebody sitting outside in front of his house, he felt like, is this person coming to get me? Is somebody else about to try to shoot up my crib? X, Y, and Z. He was questioning the ball. He was in a extremely high emotional state because of his past traumas.
Wallahi, I asked you 5 questions. I just knocked it. Bro, you in a bullshit wheel with no lights on. Car running. I just asked you. Huh? Bro, somebody shot me. Bro, are you listening to what I'm saying, bro? Somebody hit my crib up before, bro. You sitting in front of my door, bro.
Hit his crib up. And this is where one of the most gut-wrenching murders you've ever seen took place on camera.
Bro, are you listening to what I'm saying, bro? Somebody hit my crib up before, bro. You sitting in front of my door, bro.
Hit his crib up.
Yo.
Yo.
What is wrong with him?
What the fuck? Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Yo!
Wait, what?
Yo!
Call me! Call Marv!
Oh my god!
Call Marv!
I just stole this dumbass!
Call Marv!
Oh my god! Hurry up, man! Hurry up, man! Hurry up!
Now, we're going to go through the story and dissect where he was wrong and how this could be prevented. But I do want to also say that this is still a sad and avoidable situation. And I'm still sorry that this happened to him in that manner, even though it could have been avoided. But, we'll break down, the circumstances. So who wants to begin? And I'll say R.I.P. Fat G's.
Yeah. Prayers to his family.
Yeah, absolutely. You spoke something that I guess we both not I guess, but we both experienced, which is from this post-traumatic stress, which is the PTSD. PTSD actually. We both understand what it is to be shot. We both understand what it is to lose somebody tragically to gun violence. Somebody that's very close to us, and we see it firsthand right in front of us. And I can understand as you look back and you see the video, it's chilling. And you almost like, why? Like, all right, relax. Like the instinct of someone else looking at that from the outside would be like, yo, he wilding, he tripping, go back in the house, like whatever. But when you've been involved in those type of situations, all of those things, it does leave you with some paranoia. You still, you're always on guard. You're always in defense. Unfortunately, his paranoia wasn't as much paranoia as he succumbed to, the very thing that he was paranoid about. One thing we got to do is stop the senseless violence, like the unnecessary killings and the violence that has just across America has got to stop. But as I said, I look at myself and I see myself in him.
Right.
I see myself in him in a number of different ways. One, from being a young black man in the inner city, a young black man who has been through some trials and tribulations, fighting our own demons, whatever those may be. And then also an aggressive A-type personality that I can recall a number of different situations where I might have acted just like that. Fortunately enough for me, the person might not have had a gun, or if they did, they didn't use it and act on it in a sense where it took my life, even though I was shot before. After me and you got off of air last night, after our Telemade Kicks show, I had just came in the house from my trip, so I was like jet lagged, but hungry and things like that. So after we got off, I called, DoorDash and whatever. And what I ordered was like probably 10, 15 minutes away. Took the kid a little longer than that, probably about 45 minutes. So as he's approaching, I see him and I'm waiting outside. He was like, my fault, old head, or whatever the case may be. My normal reaction was probably like, what the fuck? Like, why it took so long, whatever. But as I approached the car, I seen two guys in the back, another guy in front of him. And I just remember having you send that video to me and I watched. I was like, you know what? I might want to say something. I might want to say something smart, but it's just best to just turn around. One, I'm outnumbered. Two, I don't need to smoke. Three, let us see another day. And it's easier said than done, but we got to live to see another day.
Yeesh.
So I think we talk a lot about emotional intelligence, right? And we talk about that, and most times we talk about that in relationship stature, right? And in this instance, emotional intelligence is important in a different form. what Nell just basically described was emotional intelligence in a situation that he knew in certain circumstances could go left, and certain circumstances could escalate into something unnecessary. And he used his emotional intelligence to prevent that from happening. In the case of Fat G's, being as though he had past traumas multiple times, I think his emotional intelligence was way out the window. It was so far gone that he was not able to rein and reel it in to be able to think clearly in this situation. So immediately he was on 100. He was on a beam straight from the gate. And it's unfortunate that, it came to the point that it did. And it was unfortunate to see how it unfolded. But it was also truly unfortunate to see him feel like he had control of the situation, like he was protecting his front. And in his mind, you know what I mean, he felt that all of the precautions he might have been taking all of the dominance he felt that he needed to portray, all of that, to see him feel like he was in control when we saw him spiraling out of control, which is what I think was the worst. And I think that probably happens in a good portion of these situations where someone ends up losing their life.
Right. It's just like real close to me because when I got shot, it was actually somebody was sitting there on my crib. It was actually my kids were in the house. Like my kids, my girl was in the house. Her mom was in the house. But in that moment, like a lot of times people think that it's like a fast bam bam thing. But if you keep your head clear, it's really not fast. Like it's really slow. Like you really can see it all play out in front of you.
Yep.
So if you can see it all play out in front of you, if you keep your cool, you can, handle the situation or the best you can. In certain situations, shit is going to be what it's going to be. But in certain situations, you can see it and you can maneuver your way out of it. So I want to break this down in segments. So I think the first part of it is that he was like actually walking in the crib. So he was walking in the crib and the car is parked out in front of his crib. And he's like, why the fuck is you sitting in front of my crib? Like, you sitting in front of my crib with your lights off. Like, and he's going in and out of the house. He's calling people. He's real loud. You can actually see him gathering a gun and putting it in his pocket and like screaming at the ball and saying that his car was a piece of shit. And he's telling the bull, somebody shot up his crib before and X, Y, and Z. And it was just a lot of loud speaking. And I want to use this whole topic as an educational place. Because if you going to do something, the number one thing you don't want to be is loud. That's the number one thing you don't want to be is loud. And if you walk in the crib and you feel like somebody's outside of your house, plotting on you X, Y, and Z, you can easily A, call the cops, or B, just watch them through the window. There's no need to come outside all loud, rah-rah, because that's only going to escalate the situation. Now, if you would have just sat there and played your position, because I understand that the paranoia is going to kick in, but you got to keep your cool. Once you lose your cool, that's when you lost control. Now, after you lose control, it's going to be hard to gain that back because now you escalated the situation. Now that person is on go. So, how do y'all feel about the way he was standing in the door talking and calling people on the phone and screaming at the car saying, I'm about to shoot this car up. How do y'all feel about that? Like, what is y'all educational points on that?
I feel like that's just, something that you just, you need to think before you actually speak. Again, he's so heated that he's not clearly thinking straight, not understanding that he's provoking this situation and making it into an issue. By the things that he's stating is already, if maybe possibly triggering the person that he's yelling these things to. Like, his heightened sense of aggravation is causing a ruckus. You know what I mean? It's making the other person feel uncomfortable. It's making the people inside of the house feel uncomfortable. Who knows what the neighbors are feeling at this point in time. And I think that it's just, he's on go. It's making everybody else heightened as well. Now the other person on the other end who is hearing him say, I'm about to flame this car, or I'm about to, I keep asking homie what he doing and this, that, and the third. Homie is plotting his move at this point. Here he has someone on the other end who's clearly aggravated, clearly heightened intensely. He's got a gun to the side. You can tell the movement, whether he saw the gun or not. You could tell the movement. And now he ready for the smoke, or else he would have peeled off. So, like you said, it happens in slow motion. If he would have just slowed down for a second, he would have been able to line all of those things up in his mind mentally to be able to say, you know what? This is not the move.
All right, no. So say that you're a Fat G's and the boy, you asking the boy questions and he telling you, I'm chilling, I'm not on that, I'm on the phone with my girl, I'm just smoking a blunt, I'm not even thinking about you. But a lot of times people be like that. Like, people react like that when they see somebody sitting outside their house. Like, that's really a thing. Like, people really get like agitated like when somebody's sitting outside in front of them. But where we from, that's a common occurrence. So, how do you feel about the exchange between him and the guy telling him, yo, I'm not on that?
It was making me uncomfortable because I'm just like, damn, dog, just go back in the house. Like, you showed your hand already. So whatever's coming is like you gave them the play, and you don't know what they on. So you don't even know how you're going to get yourself up out of that situation because you done told them what you were trying to do, what you was on. It's heartbreaking because as men, we're taught to protect, right? He felt the need to want to protect his home, not let this happen again. But in the grand scheme, you put your home in even much more danger. One, even if you were to shoot that guy's car up, now what happens? The police come and now you're arrested or whatever the case may be. Two, if you did shoot the car up and you killed that guy, you're now in jail for murder. Or three, exchange of gunfire, and now you got one or multiple people dead at the same time, which is never the outcome that we want to have be the case. So all three instances that I just gave you all equal to a negative. The most positive thing that you could have done is heeded the advice of the person saying, get the fuck back in the house, or leave it alone, let it go. Why are you arguing with them? They're not really a threat until they've made themselves a threat.
All right, let's stay right there because I was talking to Aisha about the mindset. I was talking to Ish before you got here about the mindset. And I was telling Ish that a lot of times when we experience trauma and things of that nature, it's not about how the outside is viewing you. It's not about how I don't want the outside people to think I'm pussy. I don't want the outside people, I want to avenge my friend or X, Y, and Z. And I was telling Ish that the first battle that you have is that you got to look yourself in the mirror every day. And that's the challenge. The challenge is when you got to look yourself in the mirror every day. When you experience those traumas and you thinking to yourself, this X, Y, and Z happened, what I'ma do. So can you speak a little bit on that mindset that he was in currently, and that these things happen? So that's where my mindset is. I'm looking at myself, what I'ma do.
Yo, I'm gonna be super honest. Like I still am on it today if I lose death. Because 9 times out of 10, and this was the 10th, this was that one time that I wasn't there. I would have been there. I would have been there. And I even, it was times when I said I blame myself for not being there. Like it could have been me. Like, he had so much to live for. I have a lot to live for too, but I just knew that if I was there, I could have changed the outcome, and that shit haunts and plays on me a lot. Even to this day. And you be like, damn, I would have did this. I would have did that. And that puts so much anger and aggression into you because you're left helpless in a situation where you might have been able to provide some kind of a hope. It could have been just diffusing the situation. Or it could we've been out there battling together and I fall my homie. Again, which we don't want it to be the case, but so much goes through your mind, so much plays in your mind. There you lose all intelligence because it's all about your adrenaline starts to kick in, and then it just goes to a whole different place. And it takes a real strong individual to step away. It really takes a strong-minded individual to just say, "Hey, I'm cool. I'm off of that." Right. It does. And as I seen him standing there arguing, you know who I seen? I didn't see him. I seen me. I seen me being there arguing with this person about some dumb shit. And how many times have I stood and argued with somebody and fought with somebody or whatever over some dumb shit? Plenty of times. I seen myself, I'm like, yo, just go back in the house, youngin. You just, if you go back in the house, do pull off, you live to never see another day, but you got your senses is heightened and whatever the case may be, but you get to lay down, go to sleep and wake up whole again. But unfortunately he didn't. Whatever that guy was on, he was on it. Not to even say that would have been an outcome, It's unfortunate because, we lost another young life, but I see that young life and those actions in me, and that's what scares me. Because 9 times out of 10, I would have been standing there arguing with this person too. And last night was probably was a wake up call for me because it was like I just got off me and T just was talking about it seconds ago. Right. I stepped away to get my food, and a young bull coming down the street with that kind of that just was on that. I could feel he was on that. He was like, my bad, old head. We were stuck in traffic. And what traffic is it at? Right. 45 at night in the suburbs. But I seen the car had a bunch of niggas in it. My shit in the house. It was just whatever. It just didn't feel. It didn't feel right. And I said, I just got my food. Said, all right, young, and got back in the house.
All right, Ish, I want to ask you your thoughts on him now walking from his door up to the car, knocking on the window. This is some shit that I hate. I hate a person walking up to my car, knocking on the window. So, what is your thoughts on him going from feeling like he was threatened to now you become the threat?
That's a dangerous that's a dangerous space to put yourself in. And somebody who has experienced the gun violence, the loss that he has experienced, also wrote music about it, songs about it, etc. You would think that, he would just his movements would just have been a little bit more cautious, let's just say, or more non-provoking. I feel like he should have definitely scaled back. Because I feel like in all actuality, he didn't want the smoke, but he brought the smoke. Like, he brought it. Right. For whatever his reasonings are, that's not for us to judge. But I just feel like he could have handled that so much better.
I just want to be like, make sure I tell the people, you can't be walking up on people. Like, that is the absolute no. You can't be walking up to people's car. You can't be walking up on them. X, Y, and Z. Keep your distance, because that's where you are the safest. Once you're coming towards me, now I feel like you're a threat. I tell y'all all the time in general conversation, where was the person in my circumference? I talk about my square all the time. Keep your distance from people. If you feel like they a threat, then you have to handle it in a different situation, being more or less patient than being the aggressor in those situations. All right, so now
I know we always talk about like I want to smoke. Like people say that shit, or I'm standing on business. Like people be saying all these words. I'm outside. That's why I be like, yo, be cautious on what you saying, cause those phrases mean something totally different than how y'all using them. People think because they got a gun that they invincible, or they with it. Y'all gotta check yourself when y'all going out overly doing it. Not even overly doing it, drinking alcohol, because that shit got you in a whole different mindset. It's taking you out of you and putting you into and making you something that you totally ain't really on a rag.
Yo, I want to say that's why I stopped actually carrying a gun all the time, because it puts you in that space. Like, it puts you in that space. Like, oh, if somebody wants to smoke, then we
got the smoke. We got the smoke.
And it's crazy because it's like I leave that shit at home because it just gives a person a sense of I got it, so it's whatever. And somebody cut you off in traffic, or somebody say some crazy shit to you. The first thing you doing is clutching your shit because you know you got. That's why I move without it a lot of the times, because I try not to put myself in them spaces to where I need it. For more or less, it's for protection purposes only. Right. But we get these guns, or we get alcohol in our system, or we get a little drug in our system, and then we forget and we lose ourselves. And that's why we be saying the shit that we be saying on here. Not because we want you to be some little timid, stay in the house type of person. We know what the streets is. Right. These streets are so unforgiving, especially more now than they ever been. Right. Times is totally different than what they were 5, 10, 15, even 20 years ago. Today, don't nobody care. People will shoot you in a heartbeat. People will run you over in a heartbeat. People will knock you over in a heartbeat and won't give a fuck.
Right. I just want to say that in the final portion of the video is where he's walking up to the car. The guy has his window all the way down now. Now his window's all the way down. I know you got a gun on you, and you're screaming at me. And you've been saying for the last 5 minutes, I'm about to shoot this car up. I'm about to flame this shit up.
So the first move that I feel like you going for your shit, I'm going for mine.
Kill.
I gotta make a home to my family the same way you want to make a home to your family or whatever.
Yeah. Kill or be killed.
Like, this is, when y'all see the video, I want you to watch it over and over again. And watch it with people that you care about and show them the right ways to diffuse a situation and what the wrong way of diffusing a situation looks like. Right. Because this is God putting it right in front of us. Right. How an argument or a disagreement or just your own insecurities,
paranoia,
has put you in a situation. Now your family is gathering you and all of the things that are you to put you away forever.
Like the first thing I said to you last night, when I was like, he was in that bad emotional space that I always tell people about. You moving off emotions, and that's gonna get you in some shit. It's gonna get you in some shit. You can't allow your emotions to put you in these positions that you can't recover.
I like to get people's opinions now, especially when I'm involved in something. Like an altercation that I had with somebody before. The first thing I did, I asked the person, tell me what I did wrong. Because I know you've seen it from a different perspective than I did. What can I have done differently? Also, I even asked T last night after I seen the video. We had a back and forth with it. I said, "How you feel with it? Did you feel like he was wrong?" He was like, "Yeah, it was something wrong on his part." Because I like to get different perspectives because I don't want to just see it from mine. I like to see it from different angles to understand exactly what I'm seeing, what I'm
And
understanding.
remember, I said, yeah, there was a lot of wrong on his part, but I understand.
Yeah. We both said we understand. Yeah. Understand. Like, it's unfortunate. Like, this shit is downright, and it's so clear. We don't typically see clear video.
Facts.
Clear audio, clear video from start to finish, like start to finish, and then you got your people in the background screaming, "Yo, leave it alone, stop, just go back in the crib, chill," and then the loss of life.
So, not only did he lose his life, now his mom and whoever was in that house, now they have to live with this traumatic, and the cycle continues. Now they have to live with that traumatic experience. They have to live with that traumatic experience. They have to live with that loss. Now this boy that killed him, you as our legal person, Ish, how does this play out for the shooter?
Well, I think it's all going to boil down to whether or not there was other directional videos in the area that will show, the make and the model of the vehicle, the tag, or what have you. Or that's if he's going to be sitting and waiting for them to say, figure out who was in the vehicle and track it down that way. Or if he is going to be honorable enough and come forward and surrender himself as the shooter and face the music that way.
Could
It
this,
would
could
be
this
in
be a
his
self
best.
defense?
Yeah, from a criminal defense attorney's aspect, definitely. You see, you see the positioning of him, the gun, etc. You heard the threats clearly. You saw him going up to the window, sort of amplifying the situation even more. Definitely self-defense.
All right, I want to say if I'm the brother or the mother, and I don't want to put any blame on nobody, but if I'm the brother or the mother or whoever's in the house, I'm grabbing you and I'm pulling you in the crib. Like, I'm not even going to allow you to stand there arguing. I'm going to grab you and be like, yo, you're wilding, and I'm going to physically pull you in the crib. You're my loved one. I'm not going, like, I don't allow my loved ones to stand outside arguing with nobody about nothing. We're not doing that. No.
But probably even in that instance, they could have been traumatized from the past as well. So, they're staying remote in their rooms or, Ring. They might not even have been in the home.
Right.
They could have been communicating through the Ring camera remotely. So we don't know if they were in fact in the home to be able to come get him, because we didn't see anybody else come outside. We did hear the voices, but we don't know where. But if they were there, that could have been something that they were afraid of too. And just staying in their respective spaces, one, knowing that he had the gun, and two, not knowing if this person was in fact. So, I mean, I definitely get it, but everybody is so scared nowadays that, you just don't know what their reasoning was.
All right, as we wrap this topic up, I want to say it's an all around sad just situation. It's sad that we lost another life. Sad that a lot of people's lives are going to be affected by this one little 5-minute exchange that could have been avoided. What are y'all last words on this?
It's like you can't even say nothing. It's just so it's so crazy. It's so tragic and so humbling at the same time because we literally witnessed the very things that we caution against, and the very things that are, hopefully the lessons that we learned over time or in life were just walk away or chill out or whatever the case may be. This was a complete opposite of that. This was overly exaggerated, but by so many different accounts, it was like overly exaggerated with the yelling and screaming. I gotta show that I'm the man in this house, and I gotta show that I'm the shit. I gotta show that I got a gun. I gotta show that I ain't no pussy. I gotta show that I ain't no punk. And then, damn, I showed all that shit only to lose my life and now have my family grieving, have my mother crying, have my mother distraught, burying her son. That right there is one of my biggest fears is having my mother bury me. And hence the reason why I choose to do things a little different with my attitude and live a little differently and, not get so upset and angry at every little thing and not trying to even think I can beat the world or whatever, or making it home the same way I left in one piece.
It's sad, but it's also a gift in a way, to where as though I'm going to use this video to go over it with my kids, to go over it with a couple of my youngins, and just to make sure that they are knowledgeable on the movements and what those movements can lead to. But Ish, what is your last word on the topic?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. If we didn't take anything from it, was just taking away a lesson. And that goes for me. I'm a female, and I've never been shot, thank the Lord, but I have been in the vicinity of individuals that have been. And if you can take nothing away from it, is just a lesson in being able to control yourself and control your thinking in times where it might not be that easy, because it could be a blink of an eye.
It ain't been the same since they took my flush from me. Killings all in my city, can't get enough of it. Facing all of these problems, I cannot run from it. Before I let them take my life, they take these slugs with them. So traumatized that I can't find a drug for it. I can't feel it, really let me numb to it. Killing hundreds of 50s, yeah, I get a rush from it. Let them think it lie to me and I'ma really leave that nigga stuck with it. Make no guns on. That's the only time when we become known. Got your mama moaning while they do my son wrong. Hate to see you on the ground with all that blood gone. Got your family looking for tips, your killer unknown. Got your body, ain't got no money, case get postponed. But that homie, yeah, they hungry, they get a roast on. Yeah, youngins out here killing like it's cool. Told my youngins to get the fatty, stay in school with it. Keep your circle tight, don't be bringing around no new niggas. Watch out for opportunists, cause they be trying to use niggas. For the love of the paper, see niggas really break the rules with it. Only time we on television is when we make the news with it. Yeah. I'm so confused with it. Niggas ain't want no paper, so I just had to lose niggas. They focus on elevating, you know.
That something can go left, and something like that can happen. So,
All right, so we're going to transition out of that topic, and like you just said, those self-thought patterns, and Nell wanted to talk about self-manipulation.
Yeah, far too often do we sit and we talked about this earlier, and some of the words that were thrown out there is play the victim, or whatever. All of that is just a form of self-manipulation. We manipulate ourselves into believing that we are not the problem. We manipulate ourselves into thinking that everything is against us. We manipulate ourselves into thinking that we have all the answers, or that we got everything under control, and whatever. And for the most part, we may have a lot of things in control. We may have, been tricked by someone before, but that doesn't have to be the narrative with everything you do in life. That doesn't have to be your calling card, you know, when facing a problem or something is trying to give you the truth, but you want to manipulate yourself into thinking something different. And you know what? We all have done it to ourselves. It's not one person that hasn't. It's not one person that says, "Oh no, not me." Yes, we all have done it, and it has not. And it hasn't. We haven't done it because somebody else made us do it. We did it because we did it. And this is a time now in life, as we sit back and we see all the horrific things that are around us, but we also still see there's beauty in some aspects of it. We still see life is in front of us, and we want to all continue on with life. We have to do a better job of how we handle ourselves, the way that we self-motivate and care for ourselves. Self-motivation and self-care does not come in the form of self-manipulation. That's in harm. That's a defeat. That is de facto. Like, you're creating in yourself this false narrative that you've created for yourself, and it's only hurting you. It's only taking away from you more or less than it is helping you. You know, when we talk about these topics, because we talk about, you know, in great detail, relationships. The reason why we talk about them is because this is our daily life, and relationships don't always have to be with you and your significant other, you and your partner.
It's family, work, all of those
Absolutely.
stuff fall under relationships.
Friendships and work partnerships and neighbors and all of those things have to do with relationships, the relationships that we build with others outside of ourselves. Also the relationships that we build within ourselves. And we just try to we just try to, with our speech, try to convey different ways of handling things. Is it always going to be perfect? No. Is it always going to work out the way we say it? No. You may even question our own walk. Hey, well, you said this thing. Are you even walking in your own truth? And I can sit here and say, no, but I strive to want to give myself that. I don't want to hinder myself. I don't want to put myself in a box and say, I'm this and this is all I will be. I want to put myself in a broad range of things that is going to make me laugh, cry, succeed, and always push myself to get out of those negatives and put myself more in a position of positive and enjoyment. So as I go around the room, right, I ask each, what's some of the things that you've seen or that you even experience when it comes to manipulation, as far as when it comes to ourselves?
You mean like things that we do where we can be
Tricking yourself out your spot.
Yeah, tricking yourself out your spot. What, we all have done it, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, we put these connotations in our minds that, for better or worse, we think it's good for our psyche, or we put those in places because we want to live that we don't want the truth to really be the truth. We want what we think to be the truth, and not looking at it from a perspective of, yo, I'm fucking some shit up right here. I'm doing something wrong, but I got to make sure that lands on somebody else before I can say that I'm the problem.
I got you. I think it's human nature to do that first. It takes a person who has been through some things and been through obstacles and been in that position enough to know and to be able to see clearly that, hey, you know what? I can't continuously keep placing the blame on others. At some point, I have to see that I too play a big part in the outcome of certain things, and I too have to stand accountable for my actions, my words, my portrayal of things, my behaviors, etc. But I don't think that people actually see that until they've actually been in really disheartening positions that will shake them to the point where they understand the severity of their actions, of their words, etc. So I think it's easier And I think it's more human nature for people to, we say this all the time, to place the blame elsewhere other than to dig deep and look within ourselves and pull it out. Hence the self manipulation. I was going to say mutilation, but if you think about it, you're really chopping yourself. You really, at the end of it all, you're really going to be chopping yourself up because you don't understand how much you are defeating yourself at the end of it all. Me myself, I've been here. Like, we figure my 20s and my 30s, I didn't start self-revelating or having these self-revelations until later on in my life, 40s, late 30s and 40s. So I've been here, I've done that. I've manipulated myself into thinking that I was this perfect being and that I had to be perfect and that everything I was doing was right and in order. And even to this day, I'm still not that. But I can at least stand back and say, you know what? You know what I mean? You ain't that. And you are doing this fucked up or you are doing something wrong. And it is not that person. It is you. So, we do this a lot, like as humans. And not everybody, but I'm just saying, as humans, we do it a lot. And I think it takes a grown-up, a real grown-up doing the work to actually realize, hey, I am the problem. And it's okay. So how you fix it and how you rectify it is what's important.
Yo, I hate this topic. I'm serious. I hate this topic because we had a topic a couple shows back where you said everybody needs therapy. And everybody does need therapy. And we grew up like, I don't need no fucking therapy. That's for crazy people, X, Y, and Z. But no, therapy is more like most people will be like, well, I can't afford therapy. And therapy is more than going to see a therapist. This is our therapy. You can have therapy with your friends. You can have therapy with your parents. You can create your own therapy.
Yeah.
Like you can make your own therapy however you see fit. But I hate it because it's always an excuse. It's always like you lying to yourself and then you believe the shit and then you just don't even care to fix it. Like I hate it.
That was my next question directed to you, T. I know, we laugh and we joke about it and we say it with, oh, he's playing. But I'm starting to slowly understand why you say people are dumb.
I be trying to tell y'all, man. I laugh, but I be serious.
Or the number of different things that you have said that has made us question why you said those things. Tell us exactly why you say those things and what brought you to those convictions that you had, because it will help individuals really, really see exactly why.
I say it for a number of reasons, and it's not the on surface reason of you lack like regular grammar school knowledge and things of that nature. It's not the common sense knowledge that I'm speaking of. It's the steps. Now, when you skip these steps and you still moving like a kid, I'm going to look at you a certain way. Like, why are you moving like a kid? You are 40, 50 years old. Why haven't you moved at all? Like, you didn't even make it to the teenage portion yet? And that's the part that pisses me off. Like, because what are we doing? Like, what are you doing with your life that you're not? And nobody's saying that you got to go out and learn how to build a rocket ship or X, Y, and Z. I'm talking about just natural, personal growth. Like that's why I say it. Like you gotta continue. It's a continuous thing. It's not over until you dead and gone. It's a continuous thing, and that's the part that pisses me off is that people don't even think it's a problem. Like now you not growing and you don't think it's a problem. Now I'm really pissed off. Cause what are we doing? Like.
Or even if they think it's a problem, then they think, okay, well, it's a problem. I've addressed that I have a problem, but I'm not really going to put it in the work to actually make the necessary changes to function properly in situations. Like, it's like, okay, I used to say all the time, okay, I got a fucking anger issue. I got an anger problem. I will cuss a bitch out in a minute. I will be like, toe to toe. Ask any men in my office, like, where I would be chest. I'm a woman. Like, it took me to say, bitch, is you crazy? Like, it took me to say, you have an anger problem. You need to control it and actually control it. You can't acknowledge that you have an issue, right? And then tomorrow you doing the same shit
Right,
without the gradual growth.
but not only acknowledge it, find where it comes from.
Right.
Find where it
Right.
stems from.
Right.
Like, start working on it too. A lot of times we can't eliminate all our flaws or whatever it may be, but you can work.
Okay.
You can put some work into where it's not affecting everybody on a detrimental level, like, and that's the part that I hate, because it's like you don't understand the things that you say and do, how it's affecting the people around you, and that's why I don't be around people, because I'll be like, come on, dog. What are we doing?
Self manipulation is a disease in a sense, because you're infecting yourself with this thought pattern of everything and everybody is wrong except me.
Right.
And that's a selfish mindset.
Right.
I'm not changing, but I want everybody else to change
Facts.
based upon my thoughts about what they should be. What? What world do we live in? And you can have that stance, but you'll find yourself by yourself more times than not.
Look, no, I'll be like, they think I'm an asshole now. Tell them about how I was when I was a teenager.
Yeah. But then too, people want to hold you to an accountability standard of what they want to hold you as, but they don't hold themselves accountable for the things and what they are and what they are not. Right? People will tell you, yeah, you're supposed to do this and you're supposed to go with that, and you ain't supposed to do this and supposed to do that. But all the while they're doing the things that they're doing, manipulating their own minds and think that they're doing right. And it's not the case. Far too often, do we run into experiences and things that will shape us. Either it's going to shape us for the good or the bad. And then you have those indifferent moments. But for the most part, you got to look at yourself and say, is this me? And you got people that look at themselves as this me, but don't care. They just say, it's me, you got to roll with it or not. But be so in a loop of changing you that they don't want to, that they care less about changing themselves because it's all about them.
Right. And the main point of self-manipulation is you're lying to yourself, you're being delusional, and you're not fixing the problem. So the problem don't go nowhere just because you choose to lie to yourself. Like, it's still there. Yeah. So you just want to continue to operate in that space? Like, what are we doing? Like,
yeah, that's crazy, man. You sit back and you wish for the best for people. You just wish for the best for people. You pray and hopefully that they find their way of whatever way that is. And it is what it is.
All right, so before we get into exclusive content and erotic zone, I'm going to tell y'all a little story. All right, so probably like last week or the week before that, I was driving home from work. And when on my normal drive home, I don't listen to music. Since I'm a DJ, it'd be so much shit in my head. I don't listen to music. I'll be listening to podcasts and shit. So I'm watching this podcast or I'm listening to this podcast as I'm driving home, and it's a bunch of young people. Like, it's like 2 young guys and it's like 7 girls. And you can tell, just by the way that they're speaking or their answers that they're young. But there was this one girl that they just like snapped on. Well, they didn't snap on her. She was actually snapping out. She got drunk and she started acting belligerent. And then they actually had to call the cops to get her kicked out. So people were going off in the comments and the people that were actually there. And they were like saying, like, it's because she's a stripper. She doesn't have any value to herself. She doesn't, have the mindset. And I was talking to the people in the comments, and I was like, just because she's drunk and acting belligerent, and she's a stripper, the stripper don't make you a low value woman. It's your mindset. You can be a stripper and still be a high value person. But the people in the comments, they started being like, "Yo, you sound like a pimp," and I was like, "Damn, I was a pimp before." But I'm not trying to do. We're not going there. But my question to both of y'all was: is a stripper a person of low value? Like, do you look at a person who's a stripper like a person of low value?
Man, I don't judge nobody no more nowadays. A stripper is somebody who is like whatever their profession is somebody out there getting what they gotta get to take care of themselves. You know, as long as they're not out here robbing, stealing, and killing, it is what it is. If they choose to use their body for entertainment, who am I to say? Who am I to have a idea of what career path you should take because I chose to take that? No, you're doing what you do for yourself. If you can live and sleep with yourself at night, then so can I.
Each, do you feel like men or women would judge the stripper more as a low value person?
I think men, for sure. Well, I agree with you in regards to the whole mindset thing. Because just because what you do physically with your body, dance or whatever, doesn't, attribute to what you hold in your mind and how you think, your mindset, your goals. You could be trying to reach certain goals, etc. But I think that, men may judge more than women. Obviously, women are going to have something to say about it. Oh, she a stripper, da, 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 da. But I think men will probably judge more because they would definitely feel like, oh, well, she's showing her body. You know what I mean? She's
Nell throwing flags on you.
But I would love to find me some shit where men don't be like, I'm not wifing her because she a stripper.
I'm friends with a lot of strippers.
But I'm just saying.
This goes back to 2 shows ago when y'all told us that we would fuck anything.
Right.
And y'all told us that
fucking anything. Wait a minute. Fucking anything is different than valuing a woman and making that your wife. That's what we're talking about.
Let me tell you.
Judgment.
Let me show y'all
Not
something.
just fucking anything.
The person,
Yeah.
the most judgmental people in the world are women. Women judge every little thing.
Yes, but we're talking about the stripper. We're talking about
a man.
Hold on. Let's stay there. So, Ish, your women friends won't look at a stripper. They won't look down on her.
I said they would. I said who would do it more?
A woman.
Men.
So you think me and Nell and our friends?
I didn't say y'all.
No.
We already know.
I'm just saying men. We in general.
Men. Yes, I think. Now this is just my personal opinion, and I'm not talking about. We know that Nell and T and their.
We're not saying that.
But I'm just saying, I have been a part of conversations. We've seen conversations where it is stated by men that they do not, and we've even had those conversations on our own podcast.
I never.
Whereas if she show too much skin, if she's this and she's that, if she strips and she's that, if she's busting it open, we've had those conversations. She doesn't have self-respect. She doesn't value herself. She doesn't this and that. So what I'm saying is I do feel that a lot of the judgment will come more from men than women in this instance.
I'll agree with you in some sense to that, because when I was talking to the people or like just having casual back and forth with the people in the comments, it was mostly men that were saying, yo, you wildin'. She a stripper, dog. Let her be. And I was like, that's crazy. Like, so I'll agree with you. But I also think that that's a young mindset.
Yeah, it's a younger mindset.
As a man grows older, he ain't gonna look at a stripper in that sense.
Right. And I
think women will, no matter the age.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to say. As a man gets older, his mind then shifts to, oh, she's a woman. It is what it is. She's doing what she got to do for her and her career. Mm-hmm. A woman will look at her like, oh, this little hoe, she ain't nothing but a stripper. Where a man like, oh, she a stripper. That's okay, cool. We might look at her like a stripper. She ain't worth shit when she was young, just because whatever. It was immature mind. But as we grow up and see that's just as a profession that she chose to make some money to take care of her and her kids or with her family, that's just what she did. But a woman ain't gonna see her like that. Right. She gonna be like, she ain't shit but a stripper. Fact. She's still stripping at this age, or she ain't got nothing better to do. Strip. She can't go out there and get a McDonald's job or a Walmart job. No, we don't. As we get older, our minds change completely different than what it was when we were young. Right. I might not say I want to wife a stripper, but that don't mean I'm going to denounce and degrade her right now where I'm at in life because she's a stripper. She going out there getting what she need to get.
But let's stay right there. Now, why wouldn't you wife a stripper?
That's just not my.
That's your personal preference.
Yeah, that's just my personal preference. That's just my personal preference. I don't. That's not to say. Let's say my girl said, "Yo,
what if your wife was a stripper?" That's what I'm about to say.
Again, what she did in her past, I can't hold her against her. I can't. We all got a past. We all have a story. I can't sit up here and say, "Yo, your story is it's too rough and cloudy for me that I can't get past it to where we are now." No.
All right, I want to ask the people in the comments, and in the chat section, do y'all look down, men and women, do y'all look down on a woman because she's a stripper, because she shows her body? Is that something to look down on? Like, when we were younger, I guess a lot of us, even myself, probably was like, yeah, she a stripper. Mm-hmm. But as a 44-year-old,
yeah, I don't care. She's a stripper. That's her profession.
Especially if she's a stripper that's about her business. Now, if y'all talking about the stripper that's getting shit popping in the back, that's a different thing. But I'm talking about the stripper that goes and makes her money and take her ass home and take care of herself and her kids or whatever it may be, or is still in school and she just doing what she got to do. She just happened to have a body and she's comfortable with her sexuality and she's handling her business however she wants to handle it. I'm not going to judge her for that.
Like Ish, you a whole different vibe. So you won't be offended by it or upset about it or even taken aback by it because you think differently. But you have a number of different people out here that will. I mean, just think.
Well, hold on, no, because even women, like, say, maybe not you, Ish, but even your friends, if Nell was like, I used to mess with a stripper, they gonna look at Nell like, you used to mess with a stripper?
Uh-huh. Just think, how many people said they had a problem with sleeping with a smoker? Some you slept with a smoker because they know the negative connotations that come with that makes that guy look like, ew, nigga, you slept with a smoker? She could have been a smoker. She could have been a smoker in the early part of her life. You could have slept with her. Now she's about something. She done got herself cleaned or something. You know what I mean? They all say, if you ever talk to a recovering addict, they all say they are a recovering addict. They are one day at a time. To the general public, they are still just that.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Just think. How many women have problems when they see these young girls out with these bonnets on their head?
Right.
Cause to them it don't look good because they not doing it.
That shit don't bother me because I grew up around that.
I don't like
girls used to come outside in their pajamas and their bonnets and go to the store and X, Y, Z. As long as we ain't going to the movies like that, I don't care.
Yeah, like it's like you protecting your hair. As long as you're not coming out with me like that, I don't care.
Right.
You dig? But at the end of the day, we don't have a problem with it at a certain point. Certain things bother us. And we'll speak on it to our person, but I ain't running down the street. Oh my God, this girl got a damn bonnet on. Look at her.
Right.
But y'all probably would.
Women be like, why she outside with her bonnet on?
So I think a woman at this, where we're at in this stage, would be like, oh, she had a problem that she's a stripper.
Facts. It just threw me off because like that was the main thing. People were going crazy in the comments. Like, she a stripper. She ain't worth shit. I was like, damn.
That's crazy.
I was like, damn. I was like, y'all don't even understand the lengths of this shit. I'd be like, so you think a stripper don't have no value? So you think Eve don't have no value? Eve was a stripper?
But just think, like, we so ready.
You think Lady Gaga don't have no value? Lady Gaga was a stripper?
But look. Everybody's so ready because they don't do these things that they don't live the life that they think you should be living. So they ready to throw you away like you're not nothing. You don't know these people's stories. You don't know these people's history. You don't know what put them in that position to be a stripper or whatever the case may be. They may hate it, but this is a means to taking care of themselves and their responsibilities.
But even this, the position of being a stripper, like, is that the problem? Because people look at it because they're showing their body. Is that the main issue?
Who knows? It's more hypocritical than it is anything because, you got men and female who look at shit like that, right? Just think, you look at porn, they're strippers, right? You look at you may frequent a strip club or you watch a movie like The Pink. You like shit like that, but you don't like it when somebody else do it or whatever. It's just hypocritical. It is hypocrisy at its best.
Yeah, I'll be lost, man.
That doesn't mean you have to want it for yourself, but don't knock somebody else for doing what they gotta do to get how they, take care of themselves. I'd rather somebody be a stripper than begging me for money.
But I just hate the point. Yeah, I hate that point when it's a knock because you wouldn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
So because you wouldn't do it, you looking down on her because she's showing her body. Some people are comfortable with their body.
Some people got a story that you just can't understand, and they doing what they gotta do. Again, like when we was young, we used to look down on fucking crackheads and smokers. But now as an adult, you like, damn, I just want that person to get well and
Get your life together.
get their life together and succeed. Come off of that, win over that drug, then let that drug win over you. Like before, she a smoker, a little smoker, like whatever, drug head, crackhead or whatever. I don't even look at people like that no more. I'm like, damn, I just want that person to win. Get whatever thing is defeating them and that got them in that point, I want them to beat that.
All right, before we get into erotic zone, y'all want to do erotic zone or exclusive content first?
Man.
All right, well, before we get into either one of those, I want the people in the chat and the comments to let us know your answer. Do you look down or do you think strippers have lower or no value? That is the question. Do you think strippers have lower or no value? All right, we can go to erotic zone and we'll do exclusive content last. So let's get into erotic zone, people. Yeesh, what up?
Alrighty.
S Gang, what up?
S Gang, what's up? I know it's been a minute since the erotic zone has graced the presence of the Sunday night, but we are back. We are back. The erotic zone, S Gang, what up, fellas? Y'all ready?
For sure.
So
You erotic zone?
yeah. So I sent the gents a video earlier, and it will in fact play for you guys.
A lot of you guys are delusional. You can't take this. You be running from the dick. She be running from the dick. Women don't run from dick. We can literally, shoot out in a 9-pound, 1-ounce infant. Okay? We're not running from it. We're running from bad stroke. Okay? I'm about to tell the truth and shame the dick devils. Okay? Women run from bad stroke, not big dick. What's a bad stroke? That ground and pound y'all do like y'all in MMA. Okay? That fucking ground and pound. I've seen women like that wear in porn. Okay? Women are built inside. We have so many erogenous zones and G spots. It's really this thing here. Like, it looks great on camera. It looks great in porn. But doesn't feel so good after a while, right?
So basically, we're going to be talking about dick control and pussy control.
Uh-oh.
Not in the sense of, can you control your dick and where you stick it? Or can you control your pussy and how you give it out? But in the sense of, do you know how to work your penis? And
What does that
ladies,
mean?
do you know how to control your vagina and the actions and what it does and how magnificent it is? And so that's what we're going to talk about.
I need some expounding on this, Ish, because I was having a conversation about this not too long ago, where a girl was questioning like why men be quick to bust a nut or X, Y, and Z, and why don't they have any control? And I was trying to explain to her, first and foremost, it's a muscle. It's like the same thing as when you don't go to the gym and you're not in shape. If you're not getting pussy, your dick is not in shape. And people don't understand that. Like, that's a real thing. That's a real thing. And I was also explaining to her that all these three things can be true at one time. He could nut because he's a person who may not be in shape or he just may be a quick nutter. He could nut. Number two, he could nut because it was fire. He just could help himself. And number three, he may not nut just because y'all had a good vibration and things just flow differently. Like it's all these things can be true at any given time. You actually don't know until you get up in it. So what is the expounding on can you control or what's the topic?
All right. So even outside of the coming aspect of it and controlling how quick you nut or controlling, how fast you get hard or how quickly you can recover after you come and get hard again. Even outside of that, maybe we should call it dick discernment. Let's use your word.
I'm scared.
Okay? Pussy discernment, dick discernment. Let's maybe say it in that instance. So what I mean by that is if we think about what the video is basically saying, it's basically saying some men think that
They killing it when they
they're
not.
killing it. And some men think that even if a woman wants rough sex or they want to feel it, do you know how to control? Do you know that your dick is straight and that you're not reaching all the way to the back? So maybe that's why she wants you to thrust a little bit more. Do you know that your dick is curved a certain way and that her cervix is curved another way? And that maybe possibly, you could be hurting her in a sense? Like, that's what I mean by the dick discernment.
Okay.
Do you know
I got you.
how to utilize your tool?
Okay,
And for the women, it's the same thing. Do you know how to utilize your muscles while you're riding his dick? Do you know that when your pussy is super wet that he might not necessarily be feeling your walls? Do you know how to control your vaginal muscles in order to wrap around his dick just a little bit more so he can feel a little bit more traction? That's what I mean. Do people understand how to control their tools?
Okay, I got you. All right, I want to say for the most part, a lot of men probably don't. And the reason that they don't is because they never learned and they were never taught. So, like I said before, when I was a young boy, you just think. You stick it in and you poke. Like that's what you think. As a young boy, you don't know no better. But like I was saying earlier about the evolution of growth, you have to learn by experience as the number one teacher and or your own personal like research and looking into things and learning and reading shit like that. And even talking to women. A lot of times men don't have these conversations with women. They don't have the conversation of you was hitting her cervix. She didn't like the pounding. X, Y, and Z. They don't even have personal conversations with their partner about what they like. So if you never have these conversations, no, they don't know what to do with their tool. They just sticking it in and trying to get their nut off. So for the most part, yeah, that was a journey.
I don't think they sticking it in just to try to get their nut off. Sometimes it could just be it's just again, like you said, a lack of knowledge and a lack of understanding and communication from both parts. We, far too often have we heard, I'm not teaching the person to do this and I don't got to do that. You should put it. No. Everybody's body is different. Everybody loves, has their love making be different. So if you know after your first experience or first couple experiences with this person and it's just not going the right way for you, why don't y'all have a conversation about it? Or stop, hey, let me do this. Let me show you how to do this. Or let me put it here. Let me.
That's the same thing with the stripper. People are not having these conversations because it's so-called taboo.
Yeah,
it's so-called taboo to talk about sex out loud.
Are we not mature? Like we say we're mature, but mature people hate doing mature things.
Facts.
Mature things are conversations, and those conversations are teachable moments and learning moments. You're learning your partner. Why wouldn't you want to help your partner learn every intricate part of you and how you like to be done? Right? It's not nothing to get upset about or mad. It's just, hey, I'm teaching you me. And me might be different this week than I was last week. I might want to feel something here tonight that I didn't want to feel a couple nights ago just because I wanted to quickie, or I just wanted to feel you inside of me, or I wanted to feel you on top of me. It's a number of different things, and we have gotten to these big ages and forgot what got us to these big ages.
All right. I got 2 points that I want to make. The first point is Ish. In the video, the girl said she didn't like that like pounding, like that rabbit shit that they call it, the rabbit shit. But that's where it gets confusing because sometimes a lot of women do like that. So if you don't have the conversation, you don't know if this is one of those girls that like that or don't like it. But I want to ask you personally, have you ever had the conversation with your partner if they were hurting you? How did you like it? X, Y, and Z. Are these the conversations that you're having?
I've had them in the past, sure, yeah, and I think for her too, and before that, she also says, you grinding and you digging. I'm not running from it, but you grinding and you digging, and you don't know where you digging. Like you don't know my body. We're not having these conversations about if it even feels good.
Do women know that most men don't know a woman's body?
Mm-hmm.
Do women know that most men don't they don't know where the hole is? Right. They just trying to find the motherfucker.
And I think that's a false sense of believing that all men know their way around the vagina,
right.
And that hey, when I'm sliding in,
I'll let the girl do it. I'll tell you, I don't play no games. I will let the girl do it.
Right. And that might be. In the beginning, that might be the best way to go and right. The more comfortable way to do it, because then you're able to both effectively operate. But I feel like in certain instances, women have expectations of men,
knowing when they don't.
Yeah, and then they don't, and then we get videos like that or statements like that.
But here lies the problem, Ish, and this is a problem on both sides. Because women look at men and be like, he a grown-ass man, how he don't know? And him being a grown man, yes, like I said earlier, you have to grow and go through the stages and learn as you go along. But also, if he wasn't doing these experiences, if he only had a selected part of people and they never told him, how should he know?
Or you might got somebody that really like that. And you thought it for years. If you let's say you had a partner who liked that.
Right, you thought that was good, so you think that's good for everybody.
That liked that bang on her. They wanted that. Right? And you've been to that. You're only doing what you've learned. Mm-hmm. Or you're doing what you was told that felt good to the other person. Right. So you're bringing things that you've learned and hopefully some other nuances to a new situation that you're like, all right, I hope this sticks. You're throwing things at the wall hoping it sticks.
All right, fuck the bullshit.
It's just like a man, like a man, right? Giving a man head. Y'all might think the head is where all the work is. I mean, where all the shit is. Mm-hmm. It's not, it's the shaft. Yeah. And y'all focusing on the head and you're like, that's cool. That shit is irritating me.
Right.
But if you get to the shaft, now he moaning and groaning, telling you, oh, baby. But then you jump right back up to the head. Like, pay attention to the moans, the movements, the how the hours roll back. And you play on those type of things. Mm-hmm. And you learn from your experiences, from what you felt. And then if your man say, or your woman say, yo, when you did that shit turned me all the way out. Have that conversation. If I hurt you and we lay next to each other, like, babe, that was cool, but you got a little rough. All right, tell me.
I think some people are very scared of those true, honest conversations.
Then you don't get the satisfaction you're looking for.
You're absolutely right. And I think it's the fear that people have of being told that they're not doing.
I understand. Right. I understand these fears, but everybody loses.
They stop, or they don't want to move forward.
But again, it goes back to: are you fearful when you telling me your feelings and emotions when you and your feelings about something I did? Nope, you're not fearful then. Right. So don't be fearful now about something that we're supposed to be enjoying. Right. This the fucking good time right here. Like we body on body. You know what I mean? So talk to me then. Let me know.
Let's speak to the other part of that, Ish, that you were saying. On the woman's side, do women know that when they're bouncing too hard?
Right. I don't think so. I think Honestly, I think women go by, and that's what I was going to ask y'all too. Do you think that men go by what they're feeling more than what is being received? And I think that's why, sometimes you have the situations where women bounce too hard or they suck too
I
hard.
believe that most parties are going on with their feeling, and that's the problem. You're supposed to go on how the person's receiving it, because your job in this instance is to be pleasurable. Like, you're trying to please them. Your pleasure is going to come in them doing the same thing. So you shouldn't be looking at it on how you're feeling. You should be looking at it on, are you pleasing them? For sure. And they should be doing the same.
But you got some people who are so much calling themselves being on demon time that
They don't give a
had
fuck.
a girlfriend say, I don't care if he want to know what he doing or whatever. I'm just doing what I do. And sometimes that tunnel vision that you might have in your mind of what you think feels good or what you think is going to come across well just may not be doing that for your partner or for the person that is on the receiving end. So I think it's important for people to be mindful about what they're doing and how they're doing it, and that communication portion of it coming into play. Because if not, then you're gonna have situations where it's like, yo, that nigga was just, I like when a nigga pound on me, but that nigga was pounding on me and he was fucking like,
I was sore the next day.
it was like he was just fucking pounding and it wasn't doing nothing. I wasn't feeling nothing. Like, it's a difference in getting good, vigorous sex and fucking pounding that just
all right,
feels like nothing.
All right, I want to ask a question on that, Ish, because women live in such an emotional space. Like, if it's the guy that they like the pounding. So if it's a guy that you don't really like that, and you're not liking the pounding, why don't they say stop?
Yeah.
Well, and two, not only that, I don't think, like, it's not often that you're going to hear stop, right? But
why not?
I'm sure people give like little indications, like a pushing on the chest, or some sort of other indication other than stop. I just don't know if I would believe that women will just say stop.
Every time I hear a woman say she didn't enjoy a sexual experience with somebody, she never say that. She said stop.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like, let's think about the movies where Waiting to Exhale. Yeah, Waiting to Exhale.
They be laying there with their eyes rolling.
Yeah, eyes rolling in their head, and
she
still
never said stop.
And she still never said stop, and she just let him go ahead, and then afterwards be like, "Yo, girl, let me tell you what he did. He wouldn't." Or whatever the case may be. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it.
Ladies, why y'all not saying stop? Y'all and enjoying it. Say stop.
And I'm sure some women will be like, "Oh no, I tell them, when they need to stop."
You know what it is. You know why they don't say stop? Because they gonna say, "I was scared how he was gonna react." If you fucking somebody that you scared how he gonna react, maybe you shouldn't be fucking him.
Facts. Sure. Or they too probably feel like he gonna be like, "Oh, she was running from it."
No.
But that's what I'm saying. She says that in there. Like, y'all, men say women run from it, and it's not always running from it. So that too can be it. Like, okay, let me just get through this. But, ladies, if you don't want to say stop, you can always say, let's change positions. You know what I mean? You can say, let's do it this way. You can take control. You can get on top. You know what I mean? And then, go that way.
It's only a confusing space. Because y'all not speaking. Yeah. That's the only reason it's confusing.
Like, y'all say men will stick their dick anywhere, right? Mm-hmm. So if we going to stick our dick anywhere, that mean we want it. Mm-hmm. Do you think we're not going... If you say stop because you're hurting me and not want it, I'm going to find another way to get it and not hurt you. Right. So if you say you was too rough, you ain't getting no more. Guarantee that motherfucker's gonna change his ways.
Right. I want to get some again.
Right.
But we gonna figure it out. You just gotta be. I don't understand the closing of your mouth when it's go time. It's like if you can open your mouth to to tell me what I did wrong in life. Mm-hmm. Open your mouth and tell me what I'm doing wrong in your coochie.
Well, I think too, women are the most vulnerable when you're inside of them. No, seriously. If you think about it, no, I'm being dead serious.
Self-manipulation.
No, but seriously, if you think about it, women feel the most vulnerable when a dick is inside of them. You guys have something wrapped around you, but we have something inside of us.
I feel vulnerable?
You don't think we feel fucking vulnerable?
Dick inside you?
Yeah, you don't think we feel vulnerable? Yes.
Y'all don't feel y'all feel vulnerable?
You know how many thoughts and things go through our fucking mind? We gotta make sure we doing good. We not gonna come quick. We gotta make sure this shit.
To see if I don't want to get you pregnant.
Yo, yes, we are vulnerable fucking boom.
Well, okay. Well, then I won't take that away from y'all and saying that women are more vulnerable, but I will say that women being natural overthinkers.
That's the problem.
Will overthink themselves into a closed mouth. Therefore, they don't speak openly about it. You know, they'll just shut down.
Yeah, we had a situation here on the show. Remember that she said she shut down because her man wasn't liking when she was giving him head? Mm-hmm. You can't shut down.
Yeah, but that's the overthinking portion of it. But it one ruins the mood, it ruins the confidence, and it ruins future it ruins future contact with one another, because then there's like not an elephant in the room, but like an elephant in the room. So the next time, you know, you two get together or whatever the case may be, there may just be a little tad bit discomfort in the flow of how the sex is going to go.
But that's the problem. It's the communication and the conversations, because I've been in both of those situations. I've been in a situation where I might have been pounding, and she was running. And I've been in a situation where I was pounding, and yes, I was hurting her. But you know why I know the difference? Because I had talked to her.
Right. Yeah. So what do you guys do in the sense of the woman bouncing too hard or
I'm going to physically grab you
and tell you to stop.
Right.
And tell you to stop.
Yeah.
Ladies, what do you do? Ladies in the chat, what do you do if you find yourself
you've been in that position where a woman is on top of you, riding you, and she gets overly excited, and now she go buck,
or she's not even excited at all, and she just like doing nothing. Then I'm gonna take control of the situation.
Right. But I want to speak to the instance where she's overly excited and she's going buck, and she's like going to her, she bending your dick.
Yeah, that shit hurt. Relax on the bendies.
Right.
I'm not going to do that and then call Nell and be like, no, shorty hurt my dick. What the fuck are we doing?
Well, I'm trying to see with the ladies, there's got to be a point in time where you're bouncing on it that you know you're bouncing too hard.
No, they be sucking. They be in the motion. This is what we talked about earlier. When you feel it, and it just feel good to you. So she going buck and it feel good to her, but she don't realize that she's hurting you.
Or scaving your joint with the teeth.
With the teeth, that's what I was getting ready to say. You have to know.
They don't know, but they don't know. They might not know. You gotta.
I told you, I knew a girl that she thought that this was her famous fucking move.
Yeah.
Like this shit was solid gold. And so I told her no.
Everybody different.
Right.
Everybody built differently, man. You just gotta be on some shit, Pat. You gotta say, yo, that's not for me. It's not for me.
Right.
It's not for me. Relax.
So, if you're told that,
my ego is not bruised.
Okay,
you know
that's
why?
what I was gonna say.
Because if you tell me that and you give it to me again, then we're winning.
How you fixing it then? Since your ego is but how are you fixing it?
All right,
Look,
I got you.
my ego is not bruised because my objective. This is what I'm trying to tell you. It's all about your intentions. Like the girl you spoke about earlier, she didn't give a fuck about the nigga. Her intention was to get her shit off. Yeah. My intentions is not. I'm gonna get my shit off regardless. So my intentions is not that. My intentions is to give pleasure to you. Mm-hmm. So if you tell me that I'm doing something that's unpleasurable for you, or you like it a certain way, I want to do that because I want to give you the most pleasure I can give you.
Yeah, I asked you.
I
asked you, are you all right? You cool?
Right, that's what I was going to say. Can you pick up on energy?
I'm asking that just even if I can't.
In general.
I want to know. Right. Like I want you to be enjoying yourself. I want you to enjoy
It's plenty of times I'm going to ask you afterwards, did you get your shit off?
I want you
are you done or no?
Right.
I want you to enjoy it. For one, I want it again. And for two, I want you to be satisfied. Like We're not kids no more. This ain't no 13, 14 years old and you excited to get some shit and you want to go crazy in it. Like, I know we go crazy, but we going crazy because that shit good as shit. That shit feel good. We going crazy because we now superly excited because that shit giving us something.
I mean, everybody talk about being grown, but you're not talking. That's not grown behavior.
And if
That's
me-
childish
yeah.
behavior.
And if
When
me
you were a
being-
child, you did something and you didn't say nothing. You be quiet. Like, I hope nobody don't say that about this. As a grown up, talk.
I'll talk. And if me being too excited in it is too much for you or hurting you, say no.
Say something.
Relax. Relax. This ain't a punch of bag. Don't beat the pussy up. Just relax. But so much goes into that because y'all hold us to this like super high bar standard that if we don't meet those things, you're still gonna be upset about something. So we try to compensate in some different areas to where we think we're doing something where we're not. So that's for you to say,
First of all, I don't ever want to think that I'm doing something that I'm not.
yeah,
So please, if it's
Tell
not
us.
that, yes, please tell me so we can make it better.
So we can stop the bullshit right there.
Yes.
And get right to it. You know what I mean?
I am not with that. No, thank you.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Be
No.
able to
I think
learn.
it's more times than not women do that though.
They do. They do.
Yeah.
Learn.
Because they live in fear. Because they're fearful of, I don't want to say that because his ego, he might swing on me, X, Y, and Z. And once again,
Or I don't want to have to
Now
teach
he
a
might
grown
swing
man.
that's how they be.
Yeah.
That's how they be. They be like, he might swing on, and I'll be like, once again, you're fucking. Why are you fucking this nigga if he's gonna swing on you because he's hurting you?
I ain't doing that.
But see, that's the other thing too. That's when it's important for women to know their body as well, because if you know your body
how
and
do
you're
you feel about
confident in
that,
that, then you can make the adjustments if you're afraid to say something to him.
But that's what I want to ask you. I want to ask you, how do you feel about that? Do you feel like every woman should touch herself?
Yes.
Because there's a lot of women who, just like the women who talk down on strippers or whatever, they look at that in a certain way. Like,
Yeah, absolutely. They look at it. It's frowned upon. I don't masturbate. I won't touch myself. I won't indulge in it, and ill to anybody who does. But I feel like that's just getting to know yourself and what your sexual desires are, what your sexual feelings are, what sexual peaks are for you, etc. And if you know your body and you know yourself, then you are in control of every sexual experience that you have. No matter what your partner is doing, you can adjust to what is happening and what is going on. So if you're feeling uncomfortable, right, and you're too scared to say it to him, you should know your body well enough to be able to say, okay, I can take control of this situation where it's not hurting. I don't have to hurt his ego. I don't have to care about what he's going to say, but I can now take control and we can both still have the best sex of our life or of our time right now.
I hate it here.
But you gotta know yourself to be confident enough and comfortable enough to do that.
I hate it here because are we fucking children? Make my head hurt. Like, are you 3 years old? Why are you not talking? Like, they speak all the time. Communication, and don't communicate.
Well, tell me.
It's fucking aggravating.
No,
Like,
tell me. I want to know.
it's fucking aggravating.
I want to know. You ain't doing it right, or this is just mediocre. This is how you can make it better. This is that. But people. And here's what I will say too. Sometimes people are afraid to say things and they think in their mind that it's not going to be received well. But I think that's inflection sometimes.
Right.
I think they don't know if it's going to be received well or not. They just know that
It's
if it was
assumption.
reversed.
Right. Right. They know if it was reversed, they would feel some type
They
of
would
way.
feel some type of way.
Self-manipulation.
Facts.
Manipulating themselves to think that, it is something that's not the case.
That's a fact.
Like, if you want your man to hit your G-spot more, take his fingers and put it up there and show him where your G-spot is.
Yo, the sad part about that is a lot of them, they
Don't
know.
even know
They don't,
where it is.
they don't, yeah. Or if that feels good, say stay there. That feels best.
Facts.
Right.
Facts.
Stay right there, babe.
Facts, speak.
That's a good
Ish,
question.
you talked before about the audio, and y'all don't be giving the audio.
Audio. I want the audio. I want the audio. I want the audio.
Them to give the audio.
Audio.
Give the audio,
Give
sis.
the audio.
Give the audio, sis. Give the audio, sis. I tell girls all the time, hold his head there. If he there, they be like, he was eating my pussy, and then he moved and fucked it up. Why you hold his head? He don't know he in the right spot. He can't feel what you're feeling. Only you can feel what you're feeling. So you feel where he's in the right spot. Hold his head there.
Or if you're not confident enough to hold his head down, make noise. He will then say, "Okay,
I'm at the spot.
Please, yeah.
Right.
Let me stay here."
Right.
You know what I mean?
But you sit there quiet. He don't know. You don't know.
And it's just happening. And then people are disappointed with the outcome of it. And closed mouths don't get fed. We've said that a lot.
But
So
a lot of people don't want to. A lot of people have went on record and saying, "Oh, I'm not teaching you nothing. I'm not showing you nothing." You're only doing a disservice to yourself.
Right.
So manipulate and self-sabotage yourself if that's not what you want to do.
Right. And sex, that's not a good fucking thing.
Facts.
That's not a good fucking thing. Sex is supposed to be pleasurable for both parties, and if it's just mechanical, then that's a problem.
I don't want it. I don't want to let her.
Problem.
I don't want to let her, dog. I don't want it.
That's just a problem.
I don't want it. A lot of people are, I call it intercourse. I don't call it sex, and I don't call it fucking. I'd be like, that was intercourse. That's what that was.
Do you think people can come back from just intercourse? Like if you said
Come
that
back
was
and make
just,
it better?
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe you can always come back and make it better if you choose to. Some people just don't choose to because
Choose to.
a lot of y'all are out there having intercourse, and y'all can be mad at me if y'all want. I don't give a fuck. Look, a lot of y'all are out there having intercourse where the man is pulling out his dick and putting it inside of you. That is not fucking. That is intercourse. That is his dick inside of you, and it's just, that's intercourse. That's not fucking. Fucking is different. And if you know what fucking is, you know what I'm talking about. Fucking is different. A lot of y'all are having intercourse, and you never have the conversations about it. It's not a thing. It's not on your priority list. It's not on your value list. So y'all may be cool with it. Don't bring that shit over here to me, please. All of y'all, any one of y'all, anybody, don't bring that shit to me. I don't want intercourse. I like fucking. I don't know what the fuck.
And the prophet has spoken.
That's what I'm saying.
The notes, are they being taken?
Fuck that. Keep that little vanilla shit over there. Yeah. Cool.
But no overthinking. Open your mouths. Talk to your partner. If it's something you don't like, speak on it. If it's something he don't like, try to fix it.
Facts. All right, now going to 60 seconds.
Man, I ain't really got much to say. I was on the beach this week, so my mind is so free and clear. I'm so relaxed.
We gonna
so
call
chill.
Look, we gonna call Nell Brown Bomber. He Brown Bomber.
You know what I mean? Came back a little tan. Got my mind right while I was over there. I'm good. But other than that,
first, hold on, because I want to call Cap on Nell Ish. I'm telling you, I know this nigga. If me and Nell, we was young boys, and we went to somebody cookout or crib, if somebody mom that he took,
he gonna say, "Oh yeah,
yeah." So cut the shits.
That's David.
I mean, it's
your cut the shit.
Look, I'm like, Cat.
You telling truths in 2024.
All right,
man.
but
cut
that ain't they girl or nothing. That's they mom.
It's still somebody's friend. That's somebody's friend.
Look,
just because she's somebody's mom don't mean she ain't got no friend.
That was
somebody's friend.
That was back in the day.
But go ahead, go to 60 seconds.
But you already know the NCAA tournament is in full swing right now. Hopefully, the team that you put in your bracket, if you filled one out, is still going strong to the championship, so you can win your office pool. You know, a couple of large teams went down today. I know Kentucky was one of those teams, and a couple of other teams will go down between now and Sunday before you watch this. The NFL is still in its off season and coming up on its NFL draft. One big chip that did get traded that will make way for another big chip to be drafted is the Chicago Bears moved Justin Fields to Pittsburgh to be Russell Wilson's backup, which is, a major thing. Justin Fields can learn a lot from Russ. Russ is a Super Bowl winning quarterback, who that has much success in this league. So Justin is behind, a real great guy over there in Pittsburgh, which clears the way for the Chicago Bears to actually draft Caleb Williams with the first pick, USC's quarterback. A couple of other big chips fell throughout the week as well. Keenan Allen was traded to the Chicago Bears, and Mike Williams was released by the Chargers.
Signed with the Jets.
And now he signed with the Jets, giving Aaron Rodgers another piece to throw to. Shout out to Mike Williams, one of my family members from South Carolina. Mike, I hope you do very well with the Jets. Can't wait to see you, out there balling. My Dallas Cowboys still have not made a big splash.
And lost a couple of people.
So, hopefully we retool throughout the draft. And once the draft is over and people get cut and people, come up to training camp, maybe, we'll put some things together. Or Jerry just has a plan. Aisha's Philadelphia Eagles are continuing the momentum that they started out with at the beginning of this free agency and signed a couple of players at some key positions and looking to fortify their team, through the draft. So shout outs to anybody. Cleveland Browns.
I don't know what they do.
His Cleveland Browns are actually amazing. They improved a lot.
Okay.
The Cleveland Browns have traded for Jerry Jeudy, another wide receiver formerly of the Denver Broncos, and gave him a long-time contract. So now you have about 4 or 5 weapons for Deshaun Watson to go to. Nick Chubb will be back from
Hopefully
injury.
Nick Chubb comes back 100%. Shout out to Nick Chubb, man.
Shout out to Chubb. You got Jerry Jeudy over there now to go with Amari Cooper, and also Njoku, who is your tight end. So, the Browns have made some offseason changes to some offseason additions to their offense, which will help
Let's
to
go,
make it better.
Browns. Doo-doo, Browns.
And their defense was a strong point last season. So
I was watching the Freaknik documentary last night.
You know what I mean?
I gotta watch that.
So hopefully y'all teams have made some major improvements that will help y'all get to the promised land, which is the Super Bowl. But other than that, like T did say, BMF is coming back with a new episode this Friday.
All right.
And also go check out the Hulu. Is it on Hulu?
The Freaknik Joe?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on Hulu.
The Hulu special of the Freaknik. This one was produced by Jermaine Dupri. So go out and check that out. I've seen a number of people saying they can't wait to see if they see somebody that they know in the Freaknik.
I watched it last night. I didn't really see nobody I know, but I wasn't even looking for nobody I know. I just wanted to see it.
Yeah. I remember those times here in Philly when we had our the Greek. It was all that, man. We would flock down to the plateau, and then after the plateau, we'll go down South Street and walk walk the crowded sidewalks that you couldn't halfway get down, only to then after South Street post up all the way from Broad and South all the way to Broad and Susquehanna.
Thanks.
So those were fun times when we was younger, and it was safe. It was safe. It actually was a safe.
This is what I said about that. Now, I said people don't realize that when girls is outside showing their titties, niggas don't want to. Yeah.
Well, these young boys nowadays, they'll shoot through a crowd.
Yeah, these young boys probably don't still know how to act. But when we was young boys, if the girls was outside showing their titties, we is not thinking about shooting nobody.
You riding in your cars. Everybody want to be seen driving slow, hanging out the window. Those were some good times, but. Shout outs to Hulu for and Jermaine Dupri for putting this together for us to see what the Freaknik did in Atlanta.
As far as March Madness goes, I want to say that even though I'm not as familiar with a lot of the men's college basketball teams like I used to be, because a lot of them be like one and dones, so it's not as good basketball as it used to be. I love this time of year because it be basketball on from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So while the tournament is going on, basketball be on from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. It's a good time for me.
Yeah, I'm not a big college basketball fan as I am of the pros, but it is exciting because you got the Cinderellas that's beating up on the projected good teams and things like that, and there's always that one team or two teams that make a run to Elite Eight and sometimes make it to the Final Four. And this year we'll probably have that same type of situation, but it just makes for a fun a live tournament. Then you get a chance to learn some people that you might see in the next season's draft go into the team of your choice and one of your favorite teams. So shout out.
All right. My message for this week is acknowledge your deal breakers, meaning whenever you have a partner or people that are in your life, could be family members, could be people that you work with, could be jobs overall in general, acknowledge what your deal breaker is in these situations, because you don't want to keep going through. That's why people wake up every day and like, man, I hate going to this, such that, hate going in the crib, hate X, Y, and Z. Acknowledge your deal breakers. That is my message for the week. Yeesh.
Nice. I would say my message for the week is let go of anger. Forgiveness is easier.
Fire.
My message of the week is, Heavenly Father, I pray that you keep the person listening to this, reading this, and watching this safe, healthy, and financially secure and blessed. That's mine.
All right, people, this is Uncensored Minds, episode 173. We are out of here. Deuces.